Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy December. Obviously, as I said in the last video, that we would not be doing a video for this month, but as it was, one of the great opportunities I had while I was at the convention is I got to meet Joe D'Amato from Microtrains and Bruce Kelly, who is a super fan of AML, and I had an opportunity to go down to Medford for work, and I got to spend a day down there, and I got invited to see a gentleman's layout that we're going to take a tour of. George Booth, who I know online and met through Model Railroad Hobbyist magazine on there, and George and me are modeling pretty close to the same area. He models the Great Western Sugar Railroad, which happens to parallel along with the UP and the Chicago, with the Colorado and Southern. And they're all in Denver there, and I've been following George for quite some time. I actually communicate quite a bit with him over the years, and I've been following him from his website for about I'm going to say now about 3, maybe 4 years. So in any case, we're going to take a tour of that. We're not going to go into the layout room. We're actually going to take a tour of George's layout. Just a couple notes. I was also down there for the AML network, and as some of you may note, that one of the folks that I promote on my videos is A Modeler's Life. And A Modeler's Life is Lionel Strain, Jim Rint, and Bruce the Mailroom Boy. And all of them, they actually interview modelers, just regular models like me and you. We're not superstars. We're just guys doing the work on building layouts. And he's interviewed a lot of interesting people. And one of the things, the rumor going around was that Joe D'Amato got Bruce Kelly fired. Well, I'm here to tell you what. I was down there at Microchains, and I did a little investigation. And let me just say that when we went into Microchains to take a tour, Bruce came along with us. We had a great time, Bruce and Joe and me, and all three of us went around the whole area to take a look at it. Microtrains, what a great opportunity to take a tour and see a manufacturer and see all the tool and die work that they do, which is absolutely incredible. But the other thing was, I really did a little investigation, and I really think that perhaps it's more likely that Bruce got let go because of his affiliation with Lionel Strain and the possibility that Lionel keeps saying N-Scale is dead. Although I don't agree with that, and after seeing Microtrains, I totally disagree. But that might have something to do with it. But again, it's just a rumor. I can't prove it. In any case, lots of work is being done on the layout, but the crew's off for the month of December, and John is traveling around getting some more certification. Sean is enjoying his family, and I myself am getting ready to go on a trip here to go spend some time with some of my extended family. But in any case, let's take a look at George's layout. I think you guys will enjoy it. Just another note, I happen to record these videos with my Nikon D51. And one of the challenges with doing a camera, when I stand in a still shot like this, can be focused real easily. But when you're moving in a layout and doing an interview, the autofocus is not continuous. So some of the shots will be out of focus. So my apologies to that ahead of time. I am working to try and get a nicer video camera, but you know, those TV camera type stuff is a little pricey. So please excuse the out-of-focus photographs, but in any case, you'll enjoy what I have to show you. You take care, and happy modeling. Well, hello everybody, and here we are. We're actually in Medford, Oregon. I got an opportunity to come down and visit some friends, and we're here at George Booth's layout, which is an inspiration to me because I actually talked to George from the videos over a year ago, and I've been following him in his build, and he's modeling the Great Western Sugar Railroad, and we're here at his layout. We're going to take a short tour of this, and we're going to talk to George a little bit, and so come on in and let's see what's going on. Okay, so here we are, and George, I've been following you for a year, and I have to ask, why the Great Western Sugar Railroad? Why this?
My first layout was a very small layout. It's just kind of freelance, but kind of based on BN in the modern time frame. And once I started getting into operation, I needed more places to switch cars. So someone suggested a sugar factory.
Ah,
So I built a small little sugar factory, which is Windsor right now.
okay.
And it had all kinds of loads, had like 6 tracks stuffed in a little bit of area. And it was fun, it was a neat little thing to do. So once I just got a bigger house, I always liked the concept of main line and branch line.
Okay.
So I had the CNS as the main line, and then the GW as the branch line. And it was just kind of a shelf layout to start with.
Okay.
Then it expanded over time to become quite prototypical. So once we moved out of Colorado, I said, oh, let's do the Great Western big time. so that's why we're here.
And big time you have done here.
Yeah.
So how big's the building here? There were
24 by 32.
24 by 32. So
Mm-hmm.
about the same size building that I have, roughly.
Really?
Pretty close. Mine's 28 by 30, so pretty darn close to it.
Looks bigger.
Mine's bigger? Yours is bigger.
Yours looks bigger.
Well, I know it does, but it's not. So anyway, so what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of take a walk through, and George is going to kind of talk over some of the stuff that we go through as we watch the train and locomotive here running. And so we're here in Loveland Yard, and this is the main operation for the Great Western Sugar, right?
The main beet factory and the main office. Because the office is right here in the old
In the old depot there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of a small operation. They didn't need too much in the way of corporate office.
Yeah.
But the beet factory is almost scale size. It's just been compressed in length a little bit.
Okay.
But all the functional tracks of the beet factory are here, and it operates just like the real one does.
Well, let's go ahead and take a train, and let's
Okay.
see what we've got here.
So all the trains head east, out that way. They leave Loveland and go through a little industrial park here. I used to work for HP. So like a little building here called Heavy Packing Company. Little fun and cheap thing. That's the Ward Business Park they're sitting in. So from Loveland, we'll continue around the corner to the first small switching area, which is called Doran, named after the first factory supervisor. The train that switches this is faced with facing point moves on the way out. So it's going from here to Ulster Junction, then back, and switches on the way back. I think that's why there's a real grand engine on the Great Western. Back when they dieselized, they leased some diesels from local companies to try out. This is one they started with.
Okay.
Once they dieselized, they settled on EMD as the engine supplier. They bought 2 SW9s and an SW1. Later on bought 2 more used SW1s. Those 5 engines supplied all the power that they needed for quite a while, at least 20 years or so. They replaced the 9 steam engines that the line had to start with. So being a short line, it's small. Don't need lots of equipment. You can throw the switch there on the panel, the bottom switch. This is Officer Junction. This is where the line splits to go northeast to Windsor or southeast to Johnstown. We're heading towards Windsor now. We're just heading into Keelam, which is UP interchange and some feed mills and bean warehouse. This is the Windsor train, by the way. We're heading to Windsor to be switching. All the trains are turns. They go out to a town, be switching, come back to Loveland. So Loveland's the main hub for everything. So across the UP Fort Collins branch here, so trains need to stop. There's a little stop sign there, so stop, proceed when clear. And then come up here to cross US 34, and both the trains and cars have stoplights. The train needs to stop here, put someone out to control the stoplights, change the lights, put some guys out to protect the traffic, and go on through. No more complication for operators. So out on the eastern prairies, there's quite a few beat dumps. We just passed the Gold beat dump, now heading to the Lorry beat dump. So we have the beat train towards the end of the section that works all over the beat dumps and takes them into Windsor. Crossing the Cascapoola River, that'll be Trestle Bridge eventually. Heading into Windsor, passing the Kodak factory. Line from Windsor splits up to go out to Eaton, which would be back on the corner, and into the beat factory itself, where we have lots of switching to do. Cars in the way.
Oh, there is.
All the cars have tabs on top. That's the car route. The car routing system like John Allen used to use. The tabs are little fender washers with AB labels stuck on, with all locations shown very clearly. Works just like a way-built car card, but there's no cars to play with. The tabs are the way bills. You don't need to read card numbers, which gets harder when you get older. One of the features of the layout is live interchange trains. So this loop track around the outside just goes from staging yard to staging yard. We'll bring out trains from both the CNS and UP to drop off cars at the various beat factories, just like the real ones did. So this one's called 43 North. CNS trains that will drop off cars at the beat factory and pick up outbound cars. We'll just continue on through this time. Got some nice CNS SD40s on the front here. Love those red and gray engines.
There you go.
So 43 North is heading through the Windsor industrial area, switched by the CNS, not the Great Western. There's NCE DCC for control. 5 radio throttle to use. You can see the Eaton staging yard off in the distance there. That was connection between the Eaton factory and the Windsor factory.
So the train then it goes back to there and ends up back into the staging
That's
yard.
the staging yard, yeah.
Okay. So George, you've been doing this for now this new layout. How long have you been building it?
About 6 years.
About 6 years. And going through this experience this time, what did you learn?
Not much.
Not much. Well, this is how many large layouts have you built?
This is my third.
Third. So you learned on the first ones what not to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you're not doing those.
Right. The scenery is still confounding me a little bit.
Okay.
Most of the stuff you see on the layout came from the old layout. Just scraped it off before I tore it down. So I need there's new scenery techniques to be done. Still use ground foam for most of the bushes and grass and whatnot. I've tried carpeting or tried fake fur carpeting for grass, and that hasn't worked out to my satisfaction yet.
Okay. Well, I was noticing Mike Whiteman, who's here with us also. I was kind of noticing the fields, and I really like the fields and what you did. And we'll take a photograph of that and show everyone what it looks like. But
Okay.
the sugar beet field looks fantastic, and that's basically just a turf or
fake grass carpet.
Fake grass carpet with some
ground foam
on top, which looks fantastic. So that is really a real neat thing. But the other thing you said that when you were doing this layout, you went more to matching what the prototype did.
Yeah, the second CNS layout, the GW started out as just a kind of a shelf layout, a place to run some trains, but there was a problem with the plumbing at one point. I had to tear out a piece of the layout to fix that, and that gave me an idea to start redoing the whole thing. It expanded it quite a bit and just kind of did this plan in a smaller scale.
Okay.
So it had the same towns, basically the same buildings. That's where they all came from, but just on a bit smaller size. Guess this was a chance to really do it right.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you probably learned, one of the things that I learned doing mine was, while we both modeled the same area both times around, my first layout was the same idea, and you are just modeling the same thing, is that, you know, when you build a layout, just because you decide to change your mind to do something different doesn't mean you can't use the same buildings again.
Right.
And we both did that, so it's really fantastic. Well, George, we appreciate the opportunity to come and visit. We want to thank Bruce Kelly for allowing us the opportunity to come up here. When Bruce said, "Hey, Mike, why don't you come on up here?" I said, "Well, it's great. I get to see George." It's really a great treat for me as well. So thank you so much for our time to tour and take a look at your layout.
Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for all the compliments.
Well, thank you. And we'll keep pace. And you want to give out what your website is so that if anyone wants to see what's going on, do you remember it? Well, I happen to know that if you just Google George Booth and Great Western Sugar Railroad, you will get this. It's one of the top listings on there, so I can share that much with you. But I'll put a link on the video, and we'll go from there.
It's a strange URL, so it's kind of hard to remember.
Yeah, I know that. I remember that as well. So, well, super, George. Thank you very much for your time, and
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All righty.